So you actually use something called Supima cotton. What made you choose that over something like bamboo? Because bamboo had this huge moment. Everything, in the world was bamboo, bamboo, and it is very silky and soft. But God, I'm still a cotton girl. So tell me about this specific fabric and why you chose it.
So we chose Supima cotton because it's one of my favorite cottons out there. It's long staple, which means that it does have a silky smooth, natural feel to it, and it has beautiful bounce and recovery because we don't use any elastane or stretch. That was really important to allow the garments to be able to like fit on a body but still retain their shape. And it just feels amazing. It's definitely a premium type of cotton. But we've chosen it because we do understand that people care about what is on their body and want it to feel great. We didn't actually consider bamboo because while the plant itself is sustainably harvested because it does require such minimal water, the actual processing of bamboo into a fiber and then into a finished textile is quite chemically intensive. And so we wanted to stay away from that process. And cotton, while it is a thirsty crop, I always see sustainability as trade-offs. Nothing is 100% perfect. I do love cotton because it can be regeneratively grown. And ours, the way that we've created the entire product, does return back to the soil. My vision is perhaps one day to have our own cotton farm where it is fully circular, where our cotton underwear will eventually go back into the cotton farm. So that in and of itself, I think feeling a lot of different materials. I think you just need to touch and feel and experiment to understand what's going to work best for your product type. But at the end of the day, I think the health benefits of cotton and the luxuriousness of this specific Supima cotton just made me fall in love with it and want to use it.
I totally agree on that. In fact, when you were saying about having your own farm and everything returns to the earth, I just had this my inside vision of these rainbows and unicorns life that I truly believe that we can somehow return to the earth, getting away from all of this industrial production and pollution that we see. It can happen. And with, founders like you that are really looking at this and trying to figure things out, there is that future. We just have to work together on it. But with that said, what was kind of some of the hardest parts of the prototype journey? Because when you have these new ideas that haven't been done before, how do you go about that? From finding your suppliers to finding the manufacturing, facilities that actually can do what you want to. Because when I've talked to other founders in the past on other shows, one of the things they bring up is that, I had this idea, and then when I brought it to the manufacturing plant, they wanted to do it a different way. And, I had to either go somewhere else or we had to figure out a way for them to do it the way I want it to. So did you experience that as well, where there were certain systems that you literally had to change from the ground up?
Yes. And I did something which now I know is very unusual in the apparel sector, where I actually oversaw the entire supply chain and operations process myself, where I ordered the thread, I ordered the elastics, I ordered the fabric, and I kind of assembled everything, all the trims, and had it delivered to a local factory in Los Angeles. And there we worked together to prototype to see how it could be manufactured at scale. Where in comparison, what a lot of apparel brands do is they will place an order with a factory. The factory will order all of the trims and everything, all the fabric. So it's kind of a little bit of a black box, and the brand will just see the finished product. So that was how we started, and it was very inefficient, but it was an incredible learning experience. And as you said, I think I needed to step into that role in order to show our manufacturer that this can happen. And it definitely took a lot of pushback. They had to change the machines that they use. Their process was a little bit slower working with us than other brands, just in terms of like stitches per minute. But at the end of the day, I think they trusted the vision that I had and were also excited by it. And they've felt like they were learning something new. So I think that's important is finding the right partners that see your vision and are willing to experiment with you because at the end of the day, you need someone who has that open mind if you're trying to do things different.
I love that you're helping these other businesses discover new ways to do better business, essentially. So, the things that you worked on with them, as far as this new way of manufacturing or new systems, they can now actually use with other customers, which is great. You know, that innovation and that shared knowledge, I think, is so important, which just makes this brand even better in my eyes that you were able to do that. I think that's just so cool.